has the GHI conference been for Aviapartner this year?
I think the conference this year has been fantastic. I said during the panel debate, the big debate on Tuesday, it's really important that there is a independent aviation event for all stakeholders to come together, where you get to share the stories, where you get to talk about priorities, where you get to understand what's happening in different parts of the industry, different parts of the sector. Going to some of the panel discussions, the big debate that I was part of, talking about in the challenges facing airlines and handlers. Going this morning to listen to the KLM talk about sustainability and efficiency and what they're doing from an airline perspective, and actually asking for the support and the help of the handlers. So it really brings the opportunity for stakeholders to talk to each other in a way that you don't get to do during the day-to-day business, because we're all very busy. We're all trying to meet our company requirements and find ways of working together. We have to make decisions very fast. Sometimes we don't have as much time as we'd like to get to the detail. And actually what you get at the conference is the chance to bring down the temperature actually and make more of a connection and talk more about whether it's what you're doing in your personal life or whether it's just understanding the context. So when you have a difficult moment, you're able to get past it and resolve conflict because there's a relationship there, an underlying relationship, an underlying understanding that you don't always get just from a one-off meeting about a contract in an airport for a certain reason. So it's much better. It adds much better value for us. And actually this year's been fantastic. And last night, what was interesting last night was many of the airlines actually came to me and said, "Oh, this year's event's been fantastic. It's been the best event for years." Wow. So I think I think it's worked really well. So, chapeau to the team. It's been a great job, and we look forward to continue our cooperation. We agreed, with the GHI team to support you on the long-term basis, and we've committed to that, and we look forward to making next year's event even more successful.
Yeah, and going into next year, what does it look like for Aviapartner?
I think I'll start from where we are today. So, we are a customer-centric business. We're here to provide services to airports and airlines. And that's our key market. So effectively, we're here to listen to customers. We're here to serve customers' requirements. We're here to listen to airports and airport authorities and aviation authorities. And if we believe we can add value to that process, and we believe we can add service to that process, if they believe that we can be a trusted partner, then it can be a success for everyone. And actually, Aviapartner have gone through a tremendous period of sustainable growth in the last 10 years. You've gone from 9 airports to over 70 airports today. And actually, in 2023, one of our core pillars of our strategy is about continuing to grow in our current markets. So, trying to look to be more successful in Italy, trying to be more successful in France, trying to be more successful in Spain. And actually, we've been fortunate, and we're very humble about it to have been successful in the license process in Spain. And we've got the chance now to work in more airports in Spain. So that's fantastic growth for Aviapartner from that perspective, and a reflection of the last 7 years. We're now at 19 airports in Italy and continuing to grow. So again, being able to provide our customers with great services, everywhere. We were successful in France in terms of getting a license in Orly. So we've got all the provinces and now Orly, and we hope aspirationally, for Charles de Gaulle in 2026. And then, of course, for the first time, in Aviapartner's history, we're now not just a European company with our entry into South Africa. So we're now a joint venture partner with the Black Empowerment Party in South Africa. We're one of 2 license holders down in the 6 airports in South Africa, and for us, it's the first step into a new continent. It's the first step on another potential growth story, but it's on a sustainable basis, and it's on a customer-focused basis. If the customers don't want us there, we won't go there. It has to work for everybody. It's not growth for growth's sake. It's not investment for investment's sake. If we believe we can add value, if we believe we can provide service to the customers and services to the airports, and they are happy for us to come, then we will go. So again, it's like
organic.
News. Yeah, it's organic. Yeah. It's organic. It's great news for us. 2025, 2024, 25. I see that continuing. I don't see Aviapartner's appetite isn't reduced. So we are happy to go and serve in more markets. We're happy to continue to grow and look at new opportunities. And again, we'll do that in a sustainable way, first of all. So is it a sustainable process? Are we working with sustainable partners? What's the purpose of going to those new markets? It's not just for the sake of growth, by the way. And we still have airlines and airports come to us today in different parts of the world, whether that be in other European countries or sort of Eastern Europe or in Africa, saying, "Will you come? Are you interested? Do you want to?" So we continue those discussions. And at the start of my role as CEO, we were in, I think it was 40 airports. We're now in over 70. And that's in 4 years. And I believe that we could be, if it works for everybody, we could be at 80, 90, 100 by the end of 2024, 2025. But again, it's about sustainable growth. It has to be sustainable both for the airlines, the airports, and for Aviapartner. That's important.
The success of Aviapartner since you've taken the helm of the company, would you say that is largely down to your leadership?
No, I think that Aviapartner has a great team of people. I think they've had a great team of people way before I joined the company. I've been there now for 7 years. I joined as the managing director for Italy and based in Rome in 2016. It was a great company then. It's a great company today. The team that I joined is the same team that's there today. So again, real consistency of leadership and management in the country. It's the same across all of our countries. We've not seen lots of people leave us. We don't have high attrition in management roles. We have our commercial team that are at the conference today. It's the same team that was coming to the conference 10 years ago. They have trusted relationships. They understand the customer's requirements. It's built on the success of all of those partners, on all of those pieces. What happened really? We had the owner of the company today has been the owner now for around 15 years, and he's key and central pillar to the growth and the success of the company. And at different phases of that journey, we've had different partners. And we had a private equity partner from 2015 to 2019, and actually, although it was successful for the company at the time, it prevented us really from going to the next step. It prevented us from reaching our potential. It's like a just restrained company.
Yeah.
And when the chairman decided that he would take back full control of the company, actually you just take the shackles off. And actually what we've done is based on what always could be done at that point, but we were being restricted maybe because of different ownership model. Whereas today we are clear on the decision making. We have 100% control from the chairman, and we're able to then pursue the opportunities we have in front of us with all the spirit and the good work of the teams that are already in the company. So it's about the great work that they do, and the great work that the chairman does, and the great work that the people do on the ramp, by the way. Because when you sit in the conference and airlines come and say, "Well, we've not really got anything to say because we've signed a 7-year contract, and actually we're very happy with the service and we don't have any problems in 35 airports." It's a real test. And that's not me. That's the individuals on the ground every day that live and breathe Aviapartner, and the trust they give us and the trust we give them, and the hard work they do. It's testament to all of that. And it's the 50 station managers we have who every day sacrifice enormous things to make sure that planes take off on time, passengers depart on time, passengers' baggage arrive when they expect it when they get to the airport. So all those things are important. But actually, the most important thing about the growth, it's about airports and airlines. Because if they didn't want us, we wouldn't be there. We're not going there because we're investing lots of money. We're not buying success. We're just acquiring companies and growing. We are doing it through organic growth. If the airports authorities in Spain didn't want us, they wouldn't give us the licenses. If the airports company in South Africa or the Black Minority Party didn't want us, we wouldn't be there. That's about choice. They have to make a choice. So in the end, for us, it's about being a provider of choice. Customer centric, customers, great service, best service possible, responsive, knowing the people, understanding relationships, listening to them much harder than we've ever done before.
It's quite a good posture you've got, because in the conference you were very clear that you're not equal to airlines. You're a service provider, and that maybe having that kind of attitude is why people, you're not in it. You're in it for the level of service you can give to your customer, and I think that speaks volumes, is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I don't want to be equal to anyone. I want to have my own. I want to have a successful Aviapartner, and I want everyone in Aviapartner to benefit from that. I want our clients to benefit from that. And that's not about being equal to anyone. It's about delivering what people want from us. Do you understand what your customer wants? Are you able to deliver that, or find a way with that customer or partner to find what the solution will be, and then deliver it consistently? Do what you say you're going to. Make promises and keep promises. And if you make promises and keep promises, you can be successful. There are lots of small ground handlers here at the moment And they're all great companies. They're making promises with customers and they're delivering them on a day-to-day basis, and they'll continue to be successful. So again, it's a quite simple model. I'm not striving to be equal. I'm not striving to be the biggest in the industry. I'm not striving to be the biggest at any airport. I'm just striving to make the work we do with the customers that choose to work with us, or the airports that choose to work with us, make them as successful as possible and sustainable. And that way everyone wins.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
And just a quick touch on, you mentioned in the conference about the mass loss that occurred during the pandemic. Was it 6,000 that employees were and they left the business during that time? And
no,
then I've got that
was about the challenge of recruitment.
Right.
So we've come a long way since the pandemic. So when we entered the pandemic, we didn't do any redundancy programs. We didn't lay anybody off. We kept everybody employed and made use of the government schemes available. But we were talking at that point about the challenges of the future recruitment. So in Aviapartner, we've recruited over 6,000 people in the last 12 months.
The
last 12 months. And again, we have a fairly standard industry model. We have a volume of 80% in the winter and 100% in the summer. So you always have a 20% gap that you're trying to recruit for every summer through seasonal staff, through seasonal contracts, through interim staff or interim companies. There's always a balance to find between your core workforce and how you build the flexibility up to manage the volume, and then you're able to reduce your cost again. So we've recruited over 6,600 people in the last 12 months, and 6,600 people have also left us.
Right.
So the ability to retain those people, it's very difficult because of the work we do, because of the type of work we do, because shifts start at 4 a.m, because the shifts stop at 1 a.m. And actually because you're out, in some airports you can be outside for 8 hours of that, working hard every day. And because there's a general level of disruption in the industry still.
Yeah.
But not always Aviapartner driven or airport driven or customer, just general environmental disruption. It becomes a very tiring and stressful job for people. So the people that came to do that job even 3 years ago, they're not staying and doing it now because they can go and work in Amazon. They have a fairly stable job with the same money.
So what was the time frame that the 6,000?
12 months.
12
months.
That you lost.
We employed 6,000 people, and in the same period, 6,000 people left the company.
Wow.
We've had to replace them all.
So it's that, and you mentioned about the challenges is very specific to the country in the operation. Would you still expand about that?
Yeah, well, it's we're very good at talking in general terms. We're very good at giving big messages. So recruitment's a real disaster. Recruitment's very difficult. The reality is recruitment's a function of the local market. So recruitment in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, with employment rates of below 1%, with more jobs available than there are people to fill them, recruitment is very, very difficult. Recruitment in Spain, in the Canary Islands, where people are used to working in the summer and maybe not as much in the winter, and actually there's it's all driven by tourism and travel. It's easy to recruit, or easier to recruit people.
Right, yeah.
So we don't have big recruitment problems in Spain. We don't have big recruitment problems in Italy. We have really big challenges in the Netherlands. We have really big challenges in Germany. You have major cities in Germany. We have to recruit people from 140 kilometres away from the airport. We have to get them to the airport. We have to either pay for that or bus them or provide accommodation at the airport. So again, it just depends on the market by market. Germany, very difficult. Netherlands, very difficult, nearly impossible sometimes. But in other places, not so much. Not so much. But what's consistent about it all is when the people that join us now as interims, the younger generation, they look around and they go, I'm not sure about this. And they go somewhere else. So our core staff don't leave us. Our core staff understand it, they like it, they do it, and they continue to do it. A low attrition in the core staff, but the younger generation or the different generations coming through, they're making different choices.
So are you doing anything to address that particular trend?
Well, we do. I think there are a number of things we're doing. So one of the big parts is changing the way we work. So as part of our 5-year safety plan, as part of our plan to provide better working conditions, as our commitment to the Global Compact Agreement of social conditions and labour conditions, as part of protecting people's health and safety, and actually part of our safety plan, we're committing to providing all of our airports with in-hold and ex-hold lifting devices. So we've probably invested in mobile lifting aids whether you call it a bendy bow or a power stow doesn't matter, but those types of devices, we've probably introduced around 50 of those into our company in the last 18 months. We expect to have and only be operating with assisted loading devices by 2028. All of our GSC by that point will be carbon neutral, so we'll have a full zero emissions fleet by 2028. All our staff will be using assisted loading devices to reduce the level of the work. And outside of the hold, there'll be exoskeletons that we're trialing and using different stations, which makes you look like a bit of a robot, but it helps with the lifting assistance. Whether it's the assistance you put onto the baggage belt where you flip the bags on and it takes the physical load off you, or whether it's like the project we're doing in Schiphol today with the airport, where we're doing the robot that sucks the bags and puts them onto the belt. So you're operating the machine.
Using robots.
So we're using robots, yeah. So that's, there's 18 in operation today in Schiphol. I think there's a plan to go to 37. That's been a very interesting project. And again, that will be the future of. I'm gonna have to go. Okay. That will be the future. So again, helping change the way the work is done is critical to bringing people into the work environment and looking for the future. But actually, long term, you look at what is the future. So there's a lot of talk about transformation, technology, and investment and innovation. The reality is today we're a very task-focused business. We're managing tasks. Okay. And in the future, we won't necessarily be managing tasks. We'll be managing more around the experience. So, like you would have in an Apple shop today. You go in an Apple shop today, there's lots of Apple people around asking what you're doing, how you're doing, showing you how to use your phone and different things. And yes, they're there to sell, but not in the old traditional way of standing behind the counter and waiting for someone to come up. And actually in airports, when you move to an infrastructure-driven process, which is self-service, there will still be people at the airport, but you might be asking different questions. Which, are you having a great time today? Where are you traveling to? Oh, great to see your children. You go on a holiday. What airline are you flying with? You fancy buying a meal now and having it on board? You fancy buying some pre-purchased some drinks? You thought about doing an upgrade and having that real, how can I add value to the experience conversation as opposed to today? So, where's your passport? Do the check-ins, quick spot, there's your board, and next. Because it's just all that queuing and the tension of checking in. When technology reduces that, the work will change, but there will still be work. And actually, we'll go from a company managing process and task to managing the system. So the people still be managing the bag drop machines. Today in Rotterdam, we're the company that are investing in the machines. So we're investing in the machines. We're having them installed in the airport. We work very closely with the airport company to make sure that the technology is right, to make sure it's future-proof, to make sure we've got the right number of self-service machines versus what's the personal service machines, where normal check-in takes place, to make sure the technology works with all airlines, by the way. So again, it's one of the first bag drop technology solutions that can meet and talk to any other airline system. Most of them only talk to one or two, but ours talks to everybody. So again, it's a highly functional solution for providing self-service check-in for all the airlines at the same time. And then you can talk about, well, how do we want to represent your brand differently rather than should we check the person in and do the task?
Yeah. So it's a whole different way of doing things in the future. So it's something not to be feared with technology, but just to
it will just change the work. It will change the work, and it will also change the model and change the cost. So the idea that self-service technology or innovation is going to drastically reduce cost, it's going to change the cost. The cost of technology is just as equal to the cost of personnel, by the way. And the ability for technology to fail and go wrong is just as high as it is for people. A different type of failure and a different type of cost. But someone's going to have to make the investment. Someone's still going to have to pay that cost. It'll just be a slightly different cost and it'll be a different process. But the importance of service providers, airport and airline service providers, will be just as critical in 10 years' time or 20 years' time as it is today. But it will just look differently than it does today because the process will change.
But I do want to ask you a question. Have you ever got personal aspirations to run an airline or anything like that? Or do you think they'd like to just continue being the handling side of things?
Today, I love working with Aviapartner. It's fantastic. It's a great company to work with and to work for. It's an honour to lead this company. It's an honour to work with the people I work with every day. I never have to get out of bed in the morning and think, oh God, what am I going to do today? It's just fantastic. It has its challenges, but it's a great job to do. So, my plan is to stick around for as long as we can be successful together. And if we get to the point where that's not working for both parties, then maybe I'll look at doing something else. But I don't have aspirations to go and run an airline or to go and do another ground handling job. I love the job I'm in. I'm committed to what we're trying to do here. I believe that Aviapartner can be a ground handling for today and for the future. I believe we can be the service provider of choice for airports and airlines, not just today, but again in the future. And I think that our approach today is an approach that will be sustainable. It will be sustainable, and therefore, the company will live on and be successful way after I've disappeared. But for me, no, I'm committed to this 100%. It's a fantastic place to work.
Oh, lovely. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.